Coming up, I'm going to share why content marketing trumps ugly, and I mean but ugly websites every single day of the week, and why, when you have a proper content marketing strategy in place, you'll never have to look for clients or customers. Stay tuned. Oh, hey, what is up, App Nation? It is Steve P. Young, founder of appmasters.co, the place you go when you want action packed content in the app space. Now, I want to share with you a little bit of my backstory and why I believe content marketing has really allowed me to, quite frankly, live the life of my dreams. Okay? Now, just to give you a little backstory. Back when I was just a mere little Steve P. Young in the sixth grade, I actually sold cassette tapes to my classmates. And so I was being an entrepreneur back at a very young age. I didn't really know it at the time. It was just something I wanted to do for fun. It's something I can make money with. So I did it. But as I grew up, I said, hey, I really do want to be an entrepreneur, run my own business. That's what I want to do. But for some reason or another, I just kept climbing the corporate ladder. So I got a degree in business and a minor in CS, computer science. And I knew that I would somehow mesh the two together, business and technology, something that I've eventually done. But I didn't know it at the time. And I just kept climbing the corporate ladder, climbing. Till finally something hit me. I guess listening to a lot of the people like Pat Flynn, seeing John Lee Dumas do his thing, inspired me that, hey, I don't have to have like a huge company, right? Growing up in the Bay Area, I thought I had to raise millions and sell for billions. But these guys are showing me a way where you can make money and still live a balanced life. And this is what I love to do. And this is what I get to do every single day of the week. And so I want to share with you how it all started. So in 2011, I started making apps. My son was 18 months at the time, and I said, hey, I want to get into this game. Let me start creating some apps. So I picked up Corona, which was the only thing I could really learn. Tried to learn Objective-C and just went whoosh. But I picked up Corona because I had a little bit of HTML, PHP type of background, and I picked up that language pretty easily. It was based off of Lua. So I made my first app. Found some templates, some code templates out there, modified it and to my needs, and I published the app, and it did phenomenal. It was number 8 under educational games on launch week. So this is 2011 at the time, and it was a free app. But I was getting thousands of downloads right there, and immediately I was hooked. But I was still doing it on the side, waking up early, nights and weekends, coding on BART, doing it all on the side. Till 2013 rolls around, and I started constantly listening to podcasts still at the time. I said, I want to do a podcast, but I didn't want to do it on entrepreneurship like everybody else. I was like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do it with then. So it hit me one day. I was like, hey, you know what? You have this app business. Why don't you, and apps are continually growing. Why don't you just interview people that you really admire in the app space? And I did that. And at the time, I didn't know it, but this was my first step into content marketing. And I started interviewing some of the heroes in my space. So it started out with just people I knew from the area, from the app space, Sylvain from Aptamin, and then Tope from App Design Vault. I read about them, I knew of them, reached out to them cold. Would you want to be my very first guest on this podcast? And they said yes. And I started interviewing people and really learning from them, really learning. And then finally, around, I would say the 4th or 5th month that I was doing it, still, again, doing it on the side, people started coming to me for marketing help. Now, I have a marketing background. I was a growth hacker for a startup in San Francisco. So I knew a little bit, but at the time I didn't know anything. But they started coming, which then gave me the confidence. That was the beginning. May of 2013, I started the podcast. September 2013, I decided to finally give notice. 3 months is probably a little too long to give notice, but I gave notice to my boss because we had a great relationship. I said, hey, at the end of this year, I'm going to leave. I'm going to start my own company and do my own thing. So enough of the audience kept coming to me that I was able to leave corporate life and really run the podcast and agency. Now, at the time, I didn't know, again, what it was going to be. because the agency at the time wasn't even there. I thought I was going to make money selling courses or doing some or making apps. That's how I thought it was going to be. But because I purely focused on content marketing, which was really me getting free consulting from my guests. That's what my content marketing was getting free consulting from my guests, learning from them, and then executing for my apps and then my own apps, and then sharing that with the audience. I started building up enough trust with people that they started coming to me for app marketing help. I'm going to show you right now the very first website that I had when I launched the podcast. Isn't this an ugly piece of thing? I built this all myself. I designed this all myself, but this was the very first version of the website that got me customers. And still, I resisted bringing on clients. I didn't want to do an agency because I grew up in the Bay Area. It doesn't scale. You got to build a product. You got to sell it, right? And so what did I do? I said, okay, well, frankly, at the time, I didn't know how I was going to make money. Enough people kept coming to me and saying, I want marketing help. So I put up a page on my website. I had changed the website around a little bit, made it a little bit prettier, even though it wasn't that pretty. It went from like a 2 to maybe a 5, right? On the hot scale. But I put up a one pager. I'm going to show you that. And you can see, really simple, one page website, some logos on there in a contact form. Again, because why? I was consistently creating content. And my form of content still at the time was just doing the podcast, learning from others. And when I'm learning, people start coming to me. This is brilliant, right? Like, come on, all you gotta do is learn. You don't even have to, I don't even have to share a lot of the content that I learned. I just have to just keep learning, essentially. And then I started executing. Obviously, that's the key. So learn, execute, and then teach. Teach what you learn and what you've learned from. You have case studies now. But finally, now we are pretty much 3 years in to the agency and me being on my own. I've got a brand new website, learned a lot more. And that one pager, man, it's crazy to think that we're charging what we charge now 6 times. You know, we started out at a mere $500 for an app launch. Now we're charging 6 times even that. And as we get better, we're probably gonna charge more and just level up our game. But it's just amazing to see where it all started. It was all about just interviewing people, learning from people, and consistently doing it, and then executing, and then teaching and sharing some of the wins through that execution that has allowed me to really live a life where I get to balance the days of being a dad and husband, and then obviously having an agency too. And now I come to you with a team of 3 of us right now. There's 3 of us, but that's enough. It's lean enough where I can still be affordable to indie developers and to startups and to like major companies as well, and still, you know, really do amazing things for them, but keep it lean enough where I don't feel like I have to do everything myself anymore. So I love our team right now. Mary Ann, thank you. I hope to grow for many years with you guys. And I just want to tell you, that's what content marketing has done. And now we're starting to create more blog posts. We're starting to do more webinars. We're starting to do more content. But it all started just because I interviewed some of my heroes and consistently kept doing it. Now we're almost 500 episodes in 3 years later. And a few of the app podcasts have fallen. Not just a few, actually a handful have fallen off the wayside. They don't do anymore. They can't consistently keep up. And that's what it is. Consistently producing content and then teaching it and then executing on it. And that has allowed me to not do any paid marketing, really not even look for clients. People just consistently come to me looking for advice. And that's what content marketing can do for you. And in my next video, I'm going to share a super ninja hack on how you can use content marketing to attract your target market, to have them coming to you. It's one of my favorite content marketing hacks in the whole wide world. I'm going to share it with you. I'm killing my teas, actually. I'm killing my teas. So I hope you join me next week. Okay. It's my favorite content marketing hack in the whole wide world. It's something I developed while I was in corporate life, and something I'm going to share with you, that if you just getting started in content marketing, well, it'll prove to you that you can use content to attract your target market and have them eventually become your customer. All right, stay tuned for that. Bye.